Hi, everyone. Are you working in your 50s or 60s, or are you maybe thinking about going back to work uh, later in life? Well, today I thought I'd share my take on what I consider the good, the bad, and the ugly of working in your 60s. Hi, I'm Kim. Welcome to my channel, Stretch and Save Canada. So let's get started. Starting with the good. Working in your 60s or later in life has a lot of positives to it, some that I didn't even consider. I mean, first and foremost, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I am someone who was self-employed for a long time, and getting a regular paycheck is huge. I know if I go to work every day and at the end of 2 weeks, I get a paycheck and I'm happy about that. Another really positive thing about working is it gives you purpose. I mean, I have purpose. I get up, I go to work, and every day I go to work knowing that I am helping us rebuild something that I've talked about in all my videos that we are rebuilding, and going to work makes me feel like I'm contributing and I'm doing something positive, and it's getting me out of the house every day. Another really good thing about working when you're older is you don't get caught up in the drama or the office politics the way you might have when you were younger. The beauty of age is you have the sense to A, keep your mouth shut when you should, and you know already the outcome for most things. So, you know what? You just don't get involved. And like I said, I finally learned how to not say what's on my mind and just let it go. You also, when you're working, you learn new systems, you exercise your brain, which is really nice, and you get to meet some really nice people. And I would say probably the one thing that I would say is the best and the most surprising for me about working in my 60s is I don't have the stress that I had when I was working when I was younger. I mean, when you work when you're younger, it is hard to get up and go to work every day because you come home and have to do a second job, which is take care of a house, take care of a family. You know, you are rushing home from work because you have to get dinner on the table. You got to take kids to hockey or dance or help them with their homework, make sure everybody has clean clothes to wear. That puts a whole other level of stress into working because you're all day at work and then you got to go home and do all that work again. When you're older, you don't have that. You don't have the stress of that. So if you want, you can stay late after work. If you want to finish a task or you want to do something that's going to make your day easier the following day, you can do it. And you go home, and if dinner consists of a sandwich, that's great. Nobody cares. You know, that takes a lot of stress off of you. So going to work actually is enjoyable because you're not worrying, oh God, I got to go to work today and I got all this other stuff I have to do. You just, you don't have it. So that is a huge plus and something that I didn't even think about. The other thing is you don't have the stress of climbing the corporate ladder. I don't worry about it anymore. When I was younger, I wanted to be, taking on more responsibilities, trying to do more, trying to get a better job. Now I'm happy. I go to work, I do my job, I do it to the best of my abilities, but I don't stress about it. I'm not looking for that promotion. I just, I go and I enjoy my job so much more because I am not like that anymore. So those are two things that surprised me. I wasn't expecting that. I was nervous about getting a job because I hadn't worked in a traditional office environment in a long time. And I was worried about things that actually didn't really happen. So it's given me a lot of confidence. I feel better about myself. There are numerous pluses to working in your 60s. But that doesn't mean that it's always easy because it's not. And so that brings me to the next point, the bad. All right, so let's get to the bad. I'm sure most of you can imagine probably the worst thing about working is how tired you get, mentally and physically. I mean, it really made me realize when I started working that, yeah, I am that much older now and I get tired. After my first day of work, I was so tired. I came home and looked at myself and thought, oh my God, you look like you are 100 years old. I mean, my passport photo looked better than I did, and that's saying something because it makes me look like Bertha from Cell Block C. So, yeah, it was not pretty. And I will say, I wonder about my memory towards the end of the day. I don't retain things the way I used to. And sometimes I find I worry that, is it noticeable? You know, I think, are they noticing the old lady behind the desk is not remembering things the way they think I should? I am not as quick, but I'm pretty good in the mornings. It's more the afternoons that get tough. So I plan my day accordingly. I try and get the things that I know I have to do done in the mornings, and in the afternoons, it's not quite as bad. The other thing I would say classify as a bad thing is that you don't have the time that you used to have. I mean, even though you don't have kids and families and stuff to take care of, you don't have time for your own personal things. And you have to start organizing yourself again. Whereas before, you might have been able, we all have when we're not working, oh, I can do it tomorrow. Well, you can't do it tomorrow because you're working. So you have to be a little more organized and get back into that mindset of what you need to do. Weekends can be jam-packed, trying to get everything done, all your errands, your laundry, all of those things. Adding things to your schedule can be a bit of a challenge. I'm trying to start a YouTube channel, and squeezing that in as well it's challenging. The year that I've been working, I need a reset day, like a Sunday where I can actually relax. Finally, the last thing is the ugly. And let me tell you guys, my ugly is my wardrobe. I had no idea that I had no clothes. Like, I guess I was just so used to wearing yoga pants and comfortable clothes that I really let my wardrobe slide. I don't have a lot of money, and so I can't be going out and buying all new clothes, but it is what it is. So if you're working in your 60s, just know you're not alone. And yeah, maybe we're not where we thought we would be at this age, but that doesn't mean that we can't have a good life and be happy with what we're doing. I'd love to know, are you still working? Or are you thinking about going back to work? Or are you happily retired? Let me know in the comments. I love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.